Hello, everybody. This is the video and live streaming show. I'm John Lacey, and I'm joined as always by Sam Proof. Today, we're
Hey,
talking
hey.
all about monetization for video creators and live streamers. Sam, how are you doing this week?
Good. I'm still getting over that cold. I have this persistent cough that just won't go away. But beyond that, I feel good. How's everything with you, John?
Everything's going pretty well. It's funny. Organizing things across time zones are tricky enough at the best of times, but
Yeah.
now we've got sort of daylight saving stuff happening on both ends. It's becoming very interesting. So, the time of the show may vary a little bit over the next coming weeks, but otherwise I'm doing really well. Yes, I'm sort of eager to learn more about today's topic. Just a reminder to everybody, we are going out live to all the various places. So if you are watching live, please say hi and let us know where you're watching from. It's funny, every week I say that, and in my mind, I'm referring to different platforms, and invariably people are like, I'm in California or I'm in
Right.
Texas. And both of those are great. We'd love to hear
Both
them
are good
either way.
answers. Yeah.
But it's interesting how my mind works in that regard. So
Yeah.
today we are talking all about monetization. It's something that I don't personally do a lot of, and we'll talk about why in a moment. But I guess, Sam, and I'm going to ask you a question that's going to sound so dumb and so obvious, but I think it's worth unpacking. Why would you want to monetize?
I think there's two main reasons, which is that you yourself are representing a business or you are building a brand that you hope to be a job of some sort. So you have a service, you have a product, something you're trying to already promote and get sales on, or you're a creator, you're making, gaming content on Twitch, or you're making videos on YouTube, or some combination of the two, and you want to put all that time and effort into a career path. I think that's the simple answer.
Sure, and I must admit, and it really does feel like a lifetime ago, but I was doing Google AdSense and I was in the YouTube Partner Program, and I think I made a grand total of $100 over the course of
Sure.
10 years. So it wasn't a great investment, and I guess the thing that I took away from that experience was that I had a lot of other people's stuff all over my content, all over my website, and I've kind of almost gone completely in the opposite direction. Like everything
Hmm.
is just me and mine. But I think
Sure.
it's worthwhile sort of thinking about some of your goals and your audience. So,
Yeah.
especially for you, Sam, like I'm conscious of the fact that you do a lot of stuff for yourself and your family, but you've also got the cute avalanche cat cam. So maybe if we can sort of unpack some of your goals and talk a little bit about those audiences.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And I think you and I both came up at times where brands and marketing teams and stuff looked at YouTube and all of that as like kitsch and cute, and they still put most of their ad dollars in television and print. So at the time, it was like, oh, yes, please just send me a free product and I'll totally pitch you on a video. And that was amazing at the time. And the times have changed. Major portions of brand marketing dollars go into web, web videos and other promotions and things like that. So if you're out there and somebody's dangling a carrot of just free product, don't do that. Don't. That is, you're selling yourself way short. We've both done it, and we're done doing that. Um, so yeah, there's, I think, for the people who are like just kind of getting started and really eager and think YouTube's going to be the job they do for the rest of their life, or Twitch gaming is the thing that they want to be their career. I think there is an inherent sort of mindset of like, I will do anything for anyone, no matter what the cost. And you end up being like, hey, I don't use this, but I love these tampons. Amazing. Um, know who you are, know what your brand is, and make the call to say no to stuff constantly. Um,
Absolutely. And I guess, you sort of identified a real common theme, which is people are so happy to take money or,
yeah,
free stuff
or just
any way they
product.
can. And
Yeah,
some of you've got to think about who's actually consuming your content, who's actually watching, and what is important to them.
Yeah.
Because there are all kinds of generic sponsors out there that sell beds and razors and all kinds of things. And it's
Right.
like, if that doesn't really relate to your particular audience, it's really it's kind of a waste of time on so many
Yeah.
levels. But I guess the other thing I should acknowledge is, yes, we both have been there.
Oh, sure.
As you were talking, I had a memory of a YouTube video I made about a company sent me a block of chocolate, and I basically
Oh,
made a video on that block of chocolate. And it seems so funny to me now, but at the time that made total sense. I was just so delighted for a bit of chocolate. These
I would
days
still be
I
excited.
can't even eat sugar, so that's so far
Yeah.
off the table. It's not even funny. But yeah, so I guess the other thing too, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more as we continue, but you've got to actually think about the trust people are having in you,
Yeah.
and not exploiting that, being really upfront about the fact where things are sponsored, or you're being
Yes.
advertised, or maybe something was donated for free. Because I maybe I'm just too cynical, but I watch a lot of videos and listen to a lot of YouTubes where every episode, the thing that will solve all your problems just happens to be the sponsor of the show, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think this is
Right.
really to be trusted.
Yeah, no, you legally in most countries, I believe, uh, are required by law to disclose if that has been something you've been paid for, have received for free, or anything in between. Yeah, just, err on the side of caution. Verbally say it, put it in the, depending on what platform you are, if it's just a title, and put hashtag ads, just Twitch, or if you have, YouTube and can put it in the description, give, more description of what what the exchange was. Yeah, be overly transparent about that kind of thing for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the other thing too is just think about whether the things that you might be promoting are actually the things that are going to help your audience, and also
Yeah.
do you really believe in them, or are you just being given a really big check?
Right.
So keep those in mind. I guess let's talk about the platform partner program. So obviously there are different arrangements for different platforms. Do we maybe we'll start with Twitch. Talk to us about Twitch, Sam.
Sure. And I think, there's a lot of people out there who want to play games for the rest of their lives and stream it and make that a job. And it's possible. It's not the easiest thing to do in the world. But basically, you're when you're a Twitch streamer, you have two sort of levels of monetization. One is the affiliate program, one is the partner program. And they basically give you the same abilities to make money. It's just a different split where, oh gosh, I don't even know what the affiliate split is, but is it 50-50 for affiliate? And then partners, I think it might still be
50-50
yeah,
according to the notes. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. I was like looking at it. I was like, I think that changed. I think it used to be something different.
Hmm.
And then it changed recently, and it's just 50-50 across the board. So with those affiliate or partner programs, you are given the ability to run ads in front of your you have pre-roll, you have mid-roll, and a bunch of other stuff. So you can like automate those and whatever. You get a small amount for running ads, pretty much across the board, no matter what you're using. It's not going to be a whole lot of anything. If you've got like 6 people watching, you're not going to rely on running ads to make anything. Like, if you can avoid it, I almost would avoid it at that level. If you've got 5,000 people watching, run some ads. It'll be worth it, but don't abuse that.
I
People
guess,
hate
guess there are
ads.
a lot of things we talk about probably do work better at scale. Just hi to Keith and Joe Serrano, and
Hey guys.
forgive me, Sam, but your friend on Twitch, is it C Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. So Keith Hughes is asking if there should be a third for each number. I'm guessing that means. So I guess in terms of the Twitch, maybe if you can add a little bit more context for that one for
Yeah,
us,
I'm
Keith.
not positive.
Not quite following, but it's great that everybody's joining us. So I mean, obviously, different platforms want to attract people to their platforms, and they want to keep them on the
Yeah.
platform, and they want, them. I certainly, in terms of Twitch and YouTube and some of these other things, we are talking quite a lot about advertising and advertising options. So,
Yeah.
um, I don't really know a great deal about Twitch, and it's funny. I I I was on Amazon Prime for
Yeah.
literally a month, and Sam advised me about this Twitch Prime
Right.
thing. So can you maybe unpack that for our audience?
Yeah, so before I get into that, you can subscribe to anyone's channel, which, if you're watching on YouTube, means completely different things on Twitch. The YouTube equivalent of Twitch is follow, and then the paid version of that is a subscribe. So you can subscribe, and on Twitch there are 3 tiers, so 1, 2, and 3, and those are $5, $10, and $25. And they give you, depending on the streamer, they may have different things that they've set up, but they give you things like custom emotes you can use and things of that nature. So along those lines, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch subscription every month, and you actually have to activate it monthly. It will sort of expire at the end of the month. But yeah, you can link your Amazon account to your Twitch account. There's a very specific link I don't have on hand. And then going forward, when you go to subscribe to someone's channel, it'll show up there as an option, which is great because that's free and you can just throw that support to someone. It counts as like a tier 1, so it's $250 to that streamer, which is cool. And the other big thing over on Twitch is that they have a built-in digital currency called bits. Bits allows you to just donate money to a streamer. You sort of buy all your bits in advance, kind of like when you go to one of those like adult arcades. You have like the card, and you put money onto the card, and then you use the card at the machine because they don't let you do the coins in the machine anymore to get all those tickets. Anyway, but yeah, so bits is trading in money for a digital currency. Twitch takes their percent off of the initial purchase. So the more bits you buy at once, the better value you sort of get for it. So a lot of people will say it's 100% to the streamer. It's after that amount has been taken off of the front end purchase. But you can use bits in a variety of ways, not just a straight out donation, which you can go to any Twitch channel, look at the chat. There's like a little diamond icon. You click on that and you can drop a bit and throw a message next to it. And there's other things like extensions that also use these bits. And these extensions, depending on which ones are active on that stream, allow you to do a wide variety of things, from calling up random sound effects or stickers on screen to actually affecting gameplay and things like that. So there's an interesting amount of interaction that can be done with the bits triggers, which is one of the things that I personally like about Twitch over YouTube, and which is why we kind of focused on Twitch when Mixer stopped being a thing for the kitten cam. That being said, I still think YouTube is the best platform for any creator right now, and still. It always has been, always will be, probably.
And I guess Twitch has it has a very particular identity, and it is
Mm-hmm.
sort of designed, I think, predominantly for gameplay. It's not to say that you
Yeah.
can't do other things and people aren't doing other things there, but that does seem to be its personality. Which is YouTube obviously is a much more general destination, and if you
Yeah,
can't find something on YouTube, it probably doesn't exist.
that's true. And I mean, Twitch is 99.999 streaming. It does have VODs. It has no ability to search those VODs, those videos. It's a really terrible experience as far as that goes. If you want gaming live streaming, that is your destination. But yeah, YouTube is fantastic. They, much like Twitch, have almost all of the same features and more. Starting with those subscription tiers, they do have those subscription tiers as well, but the streamer sets those tiers themselves. So, whereas with Twitch, it was predetermined at 5, 10, and 25. The streamer on YouTube can set a $1 tier. Actually, I'm not sure if there's a minimum, and I think I'm not sure if there's a limit to how many tiers they can actually have, but it's definitely more than 3. So you could have a wide variety of tiers there that give out different benefits to your your viewers, which is great. I love it. So the next big thing is Super Chat, which kind of plays similar in a lot of ways to things you can do with bits. Twitch actually has something called Twitch Elevated Chat. I'm not sure it's still activated. I think it may have deprecated. I think they did like a beta test for like a 3-month span, and I'm not sure it actually got pushed live to more than just those betas. But yeah, so YouTube has this thing called Super Chat. Super Chat will basically let a viewer pay money to take over a chat message and pin it to the top of the chat. So this kind of breaks down this awesome tweet by Locale TV, breaks down how this all goes down. On the right, you can see the Twitch Elevated Chat, which just gave you 5 different tiers of it, starting at $5, whereas YouTube starts at just $1, and it's just kind of immediate on there and off there. So $5 gets you 2 minutes for the YouTube equivalent of the 30-second on Twitch, and it goes all the way up to 5 hours for 500 on YouTube. So it's pretty cool. I mean, if you're doing like, something like the kitten cam, but over on YouTube, which we actually have one on each right now since we have 2 litters. Yeah, you could, if we were monetized, you could do that and totally take over that space. That being said, you still have to adhere by terms of service and good taste. If you drop into someone's channel and you're like, hey, go check out my XXX website, they can just take it down. The streamer can be like, no, but thank you for the money. So, be wise about stuff like that. Don't abuse it.
Which honestly is probably good advice for all of life. But I guess the thing that I did just want to underpin was that all those features are amazing, but you do need to apply to become part of that program
Yes.
to have the access to them. So again,
Yeah.
I probably think it's worthwhile thinking about where your audience sort of naturally lives as to which one
Yeah.
you want to explore. Especially if you're starting out and you don't have much of an audience, you're probably going to have to build up some momentum and some subscribers or followers, depending on the language of the various platforms, to even become eligible for those things. So just keep that in mind. I guess that's another thing I want to sort of underscore. A lot of, there are so many people that will tell you, just click this button and you'll make millions online. And like, none of that is true. That's always a scam. A lot of these things are a much longer term play, and you need to sort of keep that in mind as you move towards them. So this is the video and live streaming show. I'm John Lacey, and I'm joined as always by Sam Proof. Today we're talking all about monetization opportunities for video creators and live streamers. So we've spoken a little bit about Twitch and YouTube. There are obviously some other places that do give you some options, and I know you've mentioned in previous shows that you've done some things on Instagram that have actually resulted in them sending you some money. So please tell us more about that, Sam.
Yeah, so Meta, which controls both Facebook and Instagram, has a Reels bonus program, and that applies to both platforms. But for some reason, I was able to get into the Instagram one, and I got into both technically, and then immediately was revoked from the Facebook one because they wanted different content that apparently was already on the Instagram. So I was like, oh my God, it's whatever. It doesn't matter. But yeah, Instagram does have a Reels bonus program, and it's, it is something where the more viewers you have, the better. You may have heard people talk about creator funds. It's along those lines. I don't know if they officially call it a creator fund actually, but there is a set amount that your channel, your profile can make. And that is also contingent on a set number of videos that you can produce to apply to the program. In my case, and I think it might be for everyone, it's 150 videos. everyone I've seen talk about it, that sounds about right. But that net goal that you can reach, that definitely varies depending on your size. So I've never hit my net goal, which is which is a good, it's a decent amount. I could pay a good amount of bills with it, but I couldn't live off it, I will say.
Hmm.
Probably signed terms of service that says I can't say what it is, but and I'm going to play it safe no matter what. um
Sure.
yeah,
And it's funny because I'm kind of begrudgingly on Facebook and Instagram. They're not my favorite places to be. I sort of
sure.
dump my content there because I figure if it exists and I'm happy to share it for free, I'll do so. I'm kind of still waiting for somebody to explain to me the difference between a reel and a video post on Facebook. So I mean, it's not a lot of time, not a place I spend a great deal of time, but it is interesting, and I appreciate that
Yeah,
all the various video destinations are very keen to sort of reward creators, and I think that's a good thing. Broadly speaking, um, I'm sort of curious to see how it plays out long term, but
sure.
I mean, it's certainly one of the options that are out there that are worth exploring. So
Yeah, so and any of these things that have these kind of creator fund programs, they are almost always a month to month kind of thing where it's like, it's going to be like this month, and then like 3 months later they're like, now it's going to be this. So they're it is like a rolling beta test essentially of like, is this going to work? We'll see.
sure. And again, looking at our show notes, you've sort of alluded to a few others that I'm much less familiar with in terms of
Sure.
Trovo, D Live, and Kick. Is there anything you want to tell us about those ones?
Yeah, I mean, I think for a lot of people, they look at platforms like Twitch and YouTube, and they're like, I'm I'm just starting. There are millions of users on these other platforms, 10,000s, that are playing the game I want to play and or produce the content I'm producing. So I'm not gonna show up in the search, right? So I think they look at a lot of these other platforms as an opportunity to grow quickly because there's a lot less competition. So you do have things like Trovo and D Live, and Kick is the newest of the Twitch clones that are out there. And I'm not 100% sure that Kick has a partner program, but there's been rumors that it exists, and I'm like, I don't know. I haven't looked at it enough, but I added it just in case. But yeah, Trovo and D Live definitely do. They're usually a little easier to hit the requirements for than like a Twitch or a YouTube, which I totally meant to talk about and establish that earlier. Yeah, with like YouTube, you have to have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch time hours, or 10 million shorts views. And the first two metrics, well, followers is followers. That's just you hit that bar and you're good. Watch
Hmm.
time hours is within a year. 10 million views for shorts is a 90-day window, which seems insane. Like I mean, John and I have been playing with shorts for a while. I have not gotten anywhere past 40,000 in that window.
And the thing that
Uh,
kills me about shorts, and this is a little bit of a side rant, but
yeah.
like I've literally been posting them all like throughout the week, and like I will get 400 views on one, and I will get three
Oh
views
yeah.
on the next one. Like there is no rhyme or reason to any of it, I
Yeah.
swear. And there are so many different variables that I can't even sort of suss out what it could possibly be. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I like to use shorts because I think they're good for building broad awareness, but I don't know that. I don't think it's going to be a major part of anything I'm particularly doing moving forward. But I mean, it's just another option out there, and I guess you've got to
Yeah.
evaluate what could work for you.
Yeah. It's tricky. I mean, if I had an army of people and endless amounts of time, then I would do 7 shorts a day or whatever. But if I can get one out a day, I'm happy. Um, the requirements for Twitch, FYI, I don't have these memorized, but I could probably look them up. It's pretty much like, just to hit affiliate, if you within a 30, I'm going to say 30-day window, hit 3 concurrent viewers and stream, it's like something like stream for 8 hours and 7 different days. I may have those transposed, but that's pretty low lift. Like the hardest part of that is honestly the 3 concurrent viewers, right? So you got to just plot out X amount of days to stream for an hour a day and call up your 3 friends and be like, please just come and open the window. And there you go. If you really want to do it. That's literally how I was able to get my personal channel to affiliate, was like just really paying attention to those metrics. Because the first 2 are easily attainable. Those are just scheduling. And honestly, it was harder for the kitten cam in a lot of ways because it's 24/7 stream. So like, if you have downtime where there's 0 people, that counts against that average. So it's like, you know, you got to do that anyway. So yeah, that's what the requirements on those 2 were. Whereas like Trovo and D Live, it's a lot easier. There's like less streaming days and time necessary and stuff like that. I haven't looked at D Live in a while, but originally when they launched based on a crypto, like a block. So they're a blockchain streaming site, and their payouts were BTT, which is a crypto coin, or a crypto token, I guess. I don't friggin' know. But then you could convert it to US dollars somehow.
Sure.
So yeah, if you're a crypto bro, that's your platform.
Okay, I'm definitely not in that category, but it's good to know nonetheless. So, anyway, this is the video and live streaming show. I'm John Lacey, and I'm joined as always by Sam Proof. Today, we're talking all about monetization opportunities for video creators and live streamers. I guess another option, and I imagine this is probably something that Cute Avalanche in particular relies on, is viewer support and donations. So,
Yeah.
I guess how does that work for Cute Avalanche specifically to start with?
Sure. So, in addition to, which I would still consider viewer support, the platform-based subscriptions, there are other things you can do. You can get like single donations through sites like Streamlabs, or my favorite, which is Batissimo, or you probably heard of Ko-fi, which is like the Buy Me a Coffee site, and it's just PayPal transactions of like, here's $5, here's $1, here's $10, whatever it is, and you know, those are quick and easy. You can usually get almost anyone because it's either PayPal or a credit card. And, you know, if you use a system like Streamlabs, you can take their overlay layer, or even Batismo, and put it onto your stream, and then an alert pops up with a little like running zombie. You've probably seen that if you've ever been on Twitch, where it's like, John donated $5, you know, whatever. So that's always fun and quick and a great interaction. I'm trying to go faster because I realized it was like, we got through 1 talking point. We got a lot more to go. But yeah, so those are there. I'm going to just make a blog about all of these eventually.
Okay, sure. So I guess, yeah, I mean, Buy Me a Coffee is the one that I sort of see out in the wild a lot, which is potentially, you know, I guess the thing you have to keep in mind is that all of these services will take some form of commission, or, you know, some percentage of what you're doing.
Yeah.
But to be honest, even if you were taking those payments directly, there's still payment processing, there's still e-commerce stuff. So it's
right.
I guess people get very indignant about that kind of thing. But to be honest, I think if they ran the numbers for real, they wouldn't be so annoyed by that, because it all costs money.
Yeah. So yeah, keep in mind, if you're going to do like a Streamlab PayPal donation, you're giving both PayPal and Streamlabs are taking a percentage out on that. Batismo does not take a percent out, so it's just the PayPal transaction fee, which is why I appreciate and like them so much. So beyond the single donation, you have external offsite subscription donations, which you can do through things like Patreon or OnlyFans. And, you know, with Patreon, very similar, you have like the subscription tiers. So you can set up different tiers and give each tier its own, you know, perks and benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a bot like Mix It Up, which I also use, you can actually link that together so that when that subscription rolls around every month, something happens on your stream based on that. Like they get a digital currency over on the Kitten Cam called PERS, and things of that nature. I don't know anything about OnlyFans because I keep my pants on. Sorry, gang.
Come on, Sam. This is a family show. Let's pretend we didn't even mention that one. But yes, I guess the thing I would say, certainly about the Patreon approach, is it's really important that you kind of establish what your deliverables are going to be for those different tiers, because
Yeah.
I think it's something all beginner creators are really guilty of. You have that initial amount of enthusiasm, and you're like, I'm going to give you 57 extra videos each month, and you very quickly discover that's
It's
not
not
particularly
attainable.
feasible. So again, yeah, and I guess the other thing too is that, you know, if they're on this subscription model that is sort of a monthly thing, you have to do whatever you've promised each month. So
Oh yeah.
just keep that in mind. And to be honest, there are some people that will be so happy just to support you for
Yeah.
whatever you're currently doing. So
So yeah, I was gonna say, like, I've definitely run that course where I tried to run a Patreon for myself way back in the YouTube days, and it was just too much additional work, and I let it slip and slide, and I couldn't get it going. And then on the Cute Avalanche side of things, we don't promise anything. It is literally just a place to do like a subscription bonus donation, and that's how the people over there, you know, look at it. They're like, this is on top of the subscription I already give. I just want to give another $2. And they don't expect us to drop any content. So when we do, it's great. But it's, you know, it's not something that they are expecting, which is cool. If you are going to do something like a Patreon, you almost have to have a community manager that you're working with who's going to take care of that for you, or just have all the time in the world. Like, yeah, if you're, you know, 16 and all your concerns are high school, actually, that sounds like a lot of work right now, but, you know, you don't have to work a real job. Yeah, then maybe. But yes, I would think, I would think twice before trying to delve into running a Patreon, because it is a lot of work.
absolutely. And I guess, unfortunately, you know, I alluded to the fact that there are a lot of people that will tell you, click this button and it'll be a license to print money. And I certainly work when I was operating a web design and development business. I certainly had a client that had been sold that approach.
Sure.
And it became very apparent very quickly that she couldn't keep up with all the things that she promised, and that she didn't quite have the demand that she was expecting to have straight out of the gate. So I believe she ultimately retired that. And it's like, I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's a bad thing, but I think you really do need to plan ahead. I think you probably need to think about having 3 or 4 months worth of content before you even launch. And just think about how you're going to sort of keep feeding that in that way. But I guess the other thing too, before we move on, a lot of the times people appreciate just what you're doing. They're happy to support you, but you know, sometimes the bonus can be just thanking them at the end of your video or the end of your live stream, or just having their name appear somewhere, just to let other people know that they're part of that community and that they're formally supporting you. So there are lots of different things you can do, and if all else fails, just talk to your community and see what they're excited about, because I think that
Yeah,
will be really instructive.
definitely. Your community is the like de facto answer to the question of what should I do? Like, should I do a Patreon? What would you want from that? You know, should I multicast on a million different platforms? They probably wouldn't. They'd be like, I'm already here. Why would I go somewhere else?
Hmm.
But yes, always, I would always consult the community over not consulting the community.
Absolutely. So this is the video and live streaming show. I'm John Lacey, and I'm joined by Sam Proof. And today we're talking all about monetization opportunities for video creators and live streamers. And let's talk a little bit about affiliate sales and referrals. So I guess, and again, we've alluded to the fact that you really want to customize whatever offers you're creating for your particular audience. So it would be worthwhile
Yeah.
thinking about what they would actually be in the market for and what could solve their problems. But I guess, Sam, if you were thinking about incorporating some affiliate sales or some referrals, what kind of things would you like to think about in order to make good decisions and good choices about the ones that you do share?
Yeah, so I mean, this straight out goes back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show, which is like know your brand and straight out just promote the items that you're excited about, that you use on a daily basis, that you like, and that will go out of your way to get specific thing. Like, oh, I don't drink that, I drink this, whatever it is. Those are the things. Don't go for all of this other crap. So there's a lot of different websites out there that are like affiliate marketplaces and things like that. You can find some that are stream specific. Like if you do Stream Elements, they have one. I probably have a referral link for Stream Elements, but I don't have it handy. They will send you out like campaigns to test different games on your stream. There's a wide variety of how these affiliate sales and referrals actually can be implemented. It can be something that's on your stream. It could be in a video. It could be a banner on a website. It could be a Twitter post. So don't do everything.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to spam your community. You don't want to take advantage of them. Find the things that align themselves with your goals and what you're doing and your brand, and the things you honestly feel good about, and then try and find unique ways to place them in what you're doing. And
Absolutely,
then,
and I guess
yeah.
and I did an entire show about this on coffee and content, but think about how you're actually incorporating those calls to action into your
Yeah.
content, because I literally saw a LinkedIn Live where someone had an Amazon link on the screen, and it was like
Yeah.
4 lines long, and it's like, just don't do that. No one's
Jesus.
typing that in.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to a live stream type of situation or whatnot, well, it's tricky, because if you're putting something on the screen and then you're asking people to do that, they have to go away from you, and you don't want that.
mhm.
But also, like, I'm not going to be watching a stream and like trying to type down the really long URL that you have with your affiliate code in it and whatnot. Is nonsensical thing. So if it is like, a really long, weird string of, it's not like an obvious thing like samproof.tv/sale. Like, that's nice and easy enough to remember, and I can type that in. But if it's like XX956, you need to make that a clickable thing. You need to have it in like a Twitch panel or link in my YouTube bio, or you need to have your own website where you can, like John and I do, create either a QR code or a vanity link or both, so that you can do the samproof.tv/free food. Like
I
straight
mean,
out.
to be really honest with you, I don't know that I've ever QR code from people on LinkedIn that they can. People will be joining you in a meeting, for example,
Yeah.
with their phone free to sort of work with other things. So yeah, I mean, there are all kinds of options. It depends on your technology stack, but just keep in mind that we want to make it easy for them to follow through.
Yeah. So I think the thing I would say about affiliate sales and referrals and all that is, it's easy enough to get into. For the most part, there's usually a low barrier of entry for most of these. Occasionally, if you're doing something like the Stream Elements with the games, like some of those campaigns want bigger streamers so they can guarantee a return on this. But if you're doing just like an ad that's going to go on your website or something, you can go to like shareasale.com or cj.com and get affiliate links for a good amount of different companies on there. The one thing I will say about that is companies can find you and will send you invites to their thing, and literally I'm on both, and every few days get like, we'd like you to do this campaign, and then I look it up and it's like charcoal briquettes, and I'm like, what the, I have no, there's no connection to the kitten cam, like,
Though
they're like,
maybe they
great.
want you to do some barbecued pizzas.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. Maybe that wasn't a good example then. I should go call those briquette people. The other thing is, depending on the product, you're usually making somewhere between 2 and 10% of a sale. which might not be a whole hill of beans on a $10 bag of charcoal briquettes. You know, like it's a buck, right? Is that 10?
Hmm.
No, it's not even. Anyway,
And I guess
yeah,
that you sort of explained that trade off. So it's very low risk, but it's fairly low payout as well. So
yes,
I mean, it could be a good way of supplementing other things that you're doing. But again, just
yeah,
think about if it makes sense for your audience, and just be
right,
really explicit with those things, because I think you can sell anything under the sun, but what you can't buy back is people's trust in you if you are
yes,
sort of revealed to be doing something a little bit shonky.
right,
Let's talk about merchandise, Sam.
yeah. So that's better. Go on.
Let's
Did you want to?
so I must admit I recently got a whole bunch of John Lacey merchandise, including
Oh,
this shirt. Which I don't really intend to sell. This is very much personal branding stuff. But I think the thing that it made me aware of is that it's amazing what you can actually get created with your logo, your
yeah.
artwork, really, really relatively cheaply. Depends on the
Mhm.
scale, whether you're using sort of a print on demand service. But again, it could be another way of people sort of demonstrating their love for the thing that you do. So Sam, have you done a lot with merchandise in the past?
I've done a good amount. I don't think I would say I've done a lot because I've like you run into a trap with the print on demand with merchandise in general, which is especially with print on demand, super easy to set up and make, but then you need to promote it. You need to be 100% your own sales team and get it out there and get it in front of people and be constantly doing that. So, we make a few sales every year because every once in a while I go, oh God, um, we have a Halloween shirt. And then one person gets it, and I'm like, woohoo, I can stop promoting it now. No, you got to keep doing it. It's like an everyday thing, much like Patreon. If you're going to do merch and make it work, you have to be promoting it like everywhere, every day, and also releasing new merch. That being said, as opposed to the affiliate sales, you get a better commission on these things. When you're talking print on demand, the cool thing about these kind of things is there's another company doing all the fulfillment for you. They are printing the product, they are shipping the product, they are dealing, it's their shopping cart software. All you do is create the design, make the listing page, and promote that. That's all your involvement is. Hey, here's a great idea for a sticker. Also, I can now put that logo on a t-shirt, a hat, pants, whatever. That's a whole other discussion. And then you just tell people it's out there. My John Lacey shirt is out there. You know, go to
And it's
this
funny.
place.
I have a friend, Angelina Davis, who is an artist and paints people's pets, and
Yeah,
she has I want to say an Etsy store,
sure.
and essentially you can buy the artworks, you can commission your own artworks, you can get prints, but you can also get a lot of stickers and badges, and I think it's really great to have a number of different price points because people will want to support you, and it's really
Yeah,
important to think about, giving them different options. But not everybody's probably in the market for a print right now, but they might love a sticker, they might love a badge or something a little bit cheaper. And
yeah,
again, it's I think in some ways, I don't know that merchandise is necessarily a huge seller, but I think it can be quite useful in just building awareness of your thing. Because
yeah.
if you sell some shirts and people are out in the community wearing them and other people ask about them, then, that's a kind of advertising that would
Yes.
be impossible to buy, really.
Yeah, yeah. I would say so. The way um, the print on demand thing works is you get a product and it has like a base price and you add a price on top of that. So like I want to make that polo shirt. The base price is maybe $15, 16. And then you go, well, I want to make at least $5 on top of that. Now you suddenly have a $21 shirt, which is starting to get to an unreasonable place. And if your shirt is primarily, no offense to John and John Lacey's shirt, it's doing what it does, which is advertise John Lacey. If your shirt is, overly promotional, I would say, maybe bring the price point down on that so you're not making so much money up front, but the value of that shirt is the promotion of somebody wearing that shirt and supporting you. I would much rather make $1, on that shirt and have 5 people out there with cute Avalanche shirts than I would make $5 and only one person be out there.
Absolutely, and I think that that's a great point. And not everything is about the profit on any individual item. I
Yeah.
think, especially for indie creators, like building that awareness is massive, and it's
Yeah.
amazing. You can. And it's funny, I've heard people on podcasts say if I offer my services like a free hour of consultation, nobody cares. But if I put them in the running to win a T-shirt, like every person is really excited for that sort of
Yeah.
thing. So it is funny, and again, you just need to be aware of what might be of interest to your particular audience. I guess did you want to say anything more about merchandise before we move on to the next
Yeah.
thing?
So the flip side of merchandise is to do it yourself, to not do print on demand, and to get custom stuff made, because print on demand is somewhat limited. You can only go from the products they have, and for the most part, they don't have. A few companies now have full bleed, which is like an image that goes all the way around, but there's not a lot of customization to be done. So if you want to get, an Olga K pair of socks with like ears, like I don't know if anyone's familiar with Olga, she does, that's exactly the product she sells. If you want to do something like that, you are going to have to mass produce that, which you're probably not going to foot the bill for that kind of thing up front, but figure another way to do it. So when you do something like, I need to get this custom sock set, you're going to have to go through these, companies, and they're not going to print just one custom sock with flap ears. They're going to have a minimum of like, it's got to be 1,000. And that's a whole lot of money. So print on demand, there's no money down whatsoever. To make your own thing, you're going to have to drop a lot of money. So you're probably going to want to do like a crowdfunding, a Kickstarter, something like that, to raise that money, which is a whole lot of work. You thought Patreon was a lot of work. Crowdfunding, 20 times that, and no lie. And then at the end of that, you're going to have to do all the fulfillment and shipping and stuff like that as well. That being said, you're then also going to have a surplus, and you're going to probably want some way to sell that surplus. So you'd either need to set up a Shopify or a WooCommerce on your WordPress or something like that. So yeah, there's a whole lot when it goes into that kind of thing. If you're not someone with just tens of thousands of followers, don't even start with that.
No,
Start with
definitely
print on
don't.
demand.
Because I think we all know people that actually have sort of cases
Oh,
of music CDs under their basement or
sure.
whatever when they printed 10,000 of them and can't give them
Yep.
away now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, think about the outlay before you get too invested in that. I guess the other thing that you mentioned here too is that the YouTube merch store. So, I'm not overly
Yeah.
aware of this, but I do see it occasionally on videos I'm watching. So, you
Yeah.
actually have the ability to sync it to an external third-party store and sell your merchandise straight under your YouTube videos.
Yeah, so and this works with like both Shopify and I believe Redbubble, which is a print-on-demand site, and it'll literally have a carousel of products under your video player on your YouTube. And I haven't been able to enable it myself, because you do have to be one of the monetized YouTube channels. You still have to hit the 4,000 watch time hours or whatever to get that ability turned on. But it's pretty cool. Along those lines, Twitch has extensions and panels that work in the below portion of your video player on the page that do similar things, though it's per marketplace. So I believe Redbubble has one and Streamlabs has one. I don't know if Shopify has an extension, or WordPress / WooCommerce. But yeah, there are things that can get your products into those pages, which is cool, super cool. All right, moving on.
Okay, so you're watching
Running out of
the
time.
the video and live streaming show. We've got a lot to talk about, so we're going to keep going. Let's talk about advertising and sponsorships. So, what opportunities do we have here, Sam, and how might we incorporate those into our content?
Sure. So this is, in a lot of ways, a bigger version of affiliate sales and referrals. This is where the money really starts to come in with these sort of brand deals. There's a few different ways this can kind of go, from just like a little bug in the corner with their logo to me shouting out like, hey, go check out green sunglasses, they're great, I love how green they are, and a call to action of like, follow this link, to just actual product placement, on screen where you can see the product, or I'm unboxing the product, talking about it, reviewing it, and then finally just like straight out doing videos about it, which is something I've gotten into more recently without it even being posted to my own channel. It's straight out becoming a production company, and like, your value is the product, not where the product is going to be. Like, this is something you're going to give all of the footage to that company, and they'll do with with it whatever they do. So that's, I think, where a lot of people would start to realize like, oh, my value is this, not I can reach this many eyeballs. Because there's so much sort of confusion in the web space right now, where it's like, well, they've got 1 million subscribers, so that means X, which does not mean X at all anymore. Subscriber counts mean nothing, especially when we're talking about YouTube subscriber counts, because I can have 1 million. I have 13,000 YouTube subscribers. I'm lucky if I break 200 views on a traditional video. It doesn't translate. It does not make any sort of correlation happen, because the algorithm pushes small. So yeah,
And I guess that's another thing. Like, if you are approaching a company about perhaps having some sort of partnership with them, it's probably worthwhile articulating all the various audiences that you potentially have in different places.
Yes.
So, maybe it's on your YouTube video, maybe it's happening on Twitch, maybe it's in your LinkedIn newsletter. Like there are all these places where you can do that, but I guess it's important to articulate the terms of that arrangement for both people, or both parties, I suppose. So yeah, talk to me about Twitch banners really, really quickly. Or
Sure,
Twitch
yeah.
panels, I should say.
Kind of what I was just talking about with the merch thing, where you have panels beneath your video player. You can put any kind of graphic up there. You can upload an image, where YouTube, your channel, just has like a description area. Twitch has more or less HTML area. You're not using HTML, you're using markup language, but you can put extensions and images and text and links. So I could straight out get greensunglasses.com, get their banner into my Twitch panels, and make that a clickable link, and boom, that's a quick and easy sort of promotional exchange. There's not a whole lot of value in that, as far as I see, because I think it's like 1% of people actually scroll down past the video player to see what's in your description area on Twitch. But it is there. If you have a high enough viewing audience, then it is potentially something that you could sell. You could put in your pitch package to offer up to anyone as a product. Yeah.
Nice. So this is the video and live streaming show. I'm John Lacey, and I'm joined by Sam Proof. Today we're talking all about monetization opportunities, and we have so many of them. We're struggling to fit them into the hour.
Yeah,
But let's really quickly talk about potentially
Your
promoting your own business, your own products and services.
And I think this is obviously next to sponsorships, because you could get a sponsor who is just like massive. This is where potentially the most money, or at least the second most money, is to be made. But also you're building your brand, you're establishing yourself as whatever it is. There's a wide variety of what this is. You could create a course, like an e-course or a masterclass kind of thing, to give your knowledge to other people and charge money for that. You can do just about any service, put that on Fiverr, or what is it? Oh gosh, I can't remember what the other big site for that is. I want to say Uphold, but I think that's a crypto one. things like that. There are, when we talk about Twitch streamers and gamers and things like that, there are all these guys out there who are doing things like putting out their OBS templates, OBS graphics, bugs for like subscribe to my YouTube kind of thing, like stock photos and Adobe brushes, just stream graphics and all of that kind of stuff. There's a guy I just saw who builds PCs. He has like a PC build template that he sells. So cool custom stuff that you can do, which is just taking merch to the next level. We've kind of hit on a lot of these potential talking points of like sort of the high end of what you can do with any of the other categories. And this is where it all comes down to, is like your custom stuff.
And I guess most businesses will have, sort of a particular price in mind in terms of getting new customer acquisition.
Yeah.
And, if you're relying on somebody else to promote your things, you've got to find them. You've got to set up all these arrangements. You've got to make sure their content is good and, meeting your audience. Whereas if you can do these things yourself, you know who your audience are. You can really tailor your content to those people and have it align beautifully with your own products and services and offerings. So, I to be honest, if if you do niche down nicely and think about those people like that is such a beautiful arrangement with all your own personal sort of or business goals and audience. So I don't think I think sometimes, especially when you're starting out and maybe you're only interested in producing the content, you're not worried about the other things. It can be really tempting to go with some of the other options. But if you are in a position where you have something to sell, it's like I wouldn't sleep on this. I'd really take it quite seriously.
If I was getting started again, I would say, what is the thing? Maybe I can't sell it now, but what is the thing I will be selling in 2 years? Like, figure out what that physical product or that course is going to be, and then lean in, build everything toward that.
Absolutely. So, that's as we say, it's funny, we only wanted to do a very brief overview about this topic today, and it's amazing. We could probably go for weeks at a time.
I think we could break
but we
each
won't do
section
that
down
right now, but we'll certainly come back to this topic, and if there are particular parts of it that maybe we need to draw out further, please let us know in the comments of wherever you're watching this. But Sam, where can people find out more about you and watch your content and do all those good things?
Yeah, I'm at Sam Proof on just about every platform out there except TikTok, which I'm official Sam Proof. If it's still there tomorrow, who knows? But you can find all my links at samproof.tv.
Great. And if you want to catch up with anything I'm doing, you can head over to johnlacey.com. I've got links to all of the things, plus some information about this show and a few other things. Trying to get a lot more OBS content up there. And next week, we are going to be talking about scenes and sources in OBS Studio. So I'm really excited to bring that to you. Thank you to everybody that's been joining us in the chat today. It's always great. And Joe... Joe is suggesting that Sam make a pizza, and like Sam does not need any encouragement to do that. He does that quite often, so it's certainly something he's well known for. So as I say, it's been great to have everyone join us today. We look forward to talking to you again next week. So thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
And don't forget to subscribe wherever you happen to be watching, because we will love you for that forever.
And I'm going to try and put out a blog with all the stuff that we talked about today in one place.
Nice.